Good morning, folks. This is Brother Allen again. We are continuing our study of Daniel, and I am presenting to you the history of Israel from Abraham up to Daniel. Last time we talked about Samuel as being the last judge of Israel and how that God had sent Saul to Samuel to become the first king of Israel. And they had rejected the judges because Samuel's sons, who was appointed judges after Samuel, were corrupt. They took bribes and they did injustice toward the people. But God chose Saul and anointed him to be the king of Israel, the first king. And the Spirit of God was upon Saul at that time. And Saul was a warrior king. So, beginning in chapter 15 of 1 Samuel, I'll read this. Samuel also said unto Saul, The Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel. Now he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now, God said, Now go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and women, infant, suckling, ox, sheep, camel, and ass. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to the city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, Go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For you showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah unto the thou comest to Shur that is over against Egypt. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and all that would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile and refuse that they destroyed utterly. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, this is God speaking to Samuel, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he is turned back from following me, and hath not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord through the night. But Saul came to Samuel after he had disobeyed the word of the Lord. And Saul came to Samuel and said, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy word, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice. Now therefore, I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel. Chapter 16, verse 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit troubled him. So God, through Saul's disobedience, took the spirit from him. But Saul is still king temporarily, and he's going out and fighting the Philistines that smote Israel when they came out of Egypt. But here again, we have the Philistines on one side, and we have Israel on the other side, and King Saul leading them. Beginning in verse 17, or chapter 17, I'm going to read to you what happened. Now the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and were gathered together at Shakol, which belongeth to Judah, and pitched between Shokol and Azekah in Ephisadim. And Saul and the men of Israel were gathered together and pitched by the valley of Elah, and set the battle in array against the Philistines. And the Philistines stood on a mountain on the one side, and Israel stood on a mountain on the other side, and there was a valley between them. And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And he had a helmet of brass upon his head, and he was armed with a coat of mail, and the weight of the coat was 5,000 shekels of brass. And he had greaves of brass upon his legs, and a target of brass between his shoulders. And the staff of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and his spear's head weighed 600 shekels of iron. And one bearing a shield went before him. And Goliath stood and cried unto the armies of Israel, and said unto them, Why are you come out to set your battle in array? Am not I a Philistine, and your servants, you servants to Saul? Choose you a man for you, and let him come down to me. If he be able to fight with me, and to kill me, then will we be your servants. But if I, Goliath, prevail against him and kill him, then shall you be our servants and serve us. And Goliath said, I defy the armies of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together. When Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. So this giant was so big, he scared the whole army of Israel and of Saul. But then David shows up on the scene. Prior to this, David was simply a little shepherd boy. And God called him to go to Saul. And David shows up to Saul. And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came and drew near to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag and took out a stone, and he slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and Goliath fell upon his face to the earth. And when Saul saw David go forth against the Philistine, he said unto Abner, the captain of the host, Abner, whose son is this youth? And Abner said, As thy soul liveth, O king, I don't know. I cannot tell. And the king said, Inquire thou whose son this stripling is. And as David returned from the slaughter of Goliath, Abner took him and brought him before King Saul with the head of the Philistine in his hand. And Saul said unto him, Whose son are you, young man? And David answered, I am the son of thy servant Jesse the Bethlehemite. I'm going to stop right there because next time I'm going to show you how David rose to prominence within the household of Saul, King Saul, and how the people adored him. And since God had taken away the good spirit from Saul, Saul was filled with an evil spirit and began to try and kill David. Until next time, this is your faithful Brother Allen. May God bless us all.